This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented to you by Edge Boost. Edge Boost enables you to double your bet with no interest. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge to get started today. And we're also brought to you by Bird Dog Shorts. The world's greatest shorts are hooking you up with a free Yeti-style tumbler when you order over at birddogs.com/pool. That's birddogs.com/pool. All right, DJs, welcome back. It's the U.S. Open Best Bet Show. It's your boy, Boston Capper, with the god of golf himself, Steve Schirmer, and extra special guest, Pamela Maldonado from Yahoo Sportsbook. Pamela, how are we doing today?
I'm doing a lot better than you.
That's fair.
I just found out your little health condition that you had a few weeks ago. So
Yeah.
happy to have you here. But
Thank
I'm
you.
also excited to raise up your blood level because I'm sure we're going to disagree with some of the U.S. Open options.
Yes, as we normally do. And I'm just like, it's the same thing I am at every major. I got like 3 bets in, and I don't know what to do with the rest. Then I'm going to stress out and figure it out in here and lay the final card down. So
I know we were talking last night about how watching golf is probably not helping your cause. I mean, you had a Tommy Fleetwood ticket last weekend.
Yeah,
I can only imagine that Stent just hanging on for dear life.
Well, I was
keep that artery open there.
I was with my buddy Pete, and he was like, "Do you need to be watching this right now?" I was like, "Yeah, that's fine. Let's drive home. We'll put it on the radio."
All right, yeah.
I've already been through the stress. What's a couple more?
Yeah, exactly.
the nice soothing tones of John McGinnis there on
yes,
PG Tour Radio. So,
exactly.
All right, well, before we get into golf talk, Pamela, you do a lot of tennis stuff, and Novak Djokovic just won the French Open. He set the men's record for most Grand Slams. So it's official right now. He's the greatest men's tennis player of all time, right?
He could have 3 less titles and he would still be the greatest tennis player of all time. What makes him so special, separated from the rest, is that yes, he is the all-around complete player and he has the variety and he has every weapon at his disposal, but he's also superb on all surfaces. And that's what makes him amazing. Truly once in a lifetime type of talent. But I will also say you can always have the GOAT argument and who is it? Just as a fan, realize just how special we have had it for the last decade. Every time Federer played Djokovic played Nadal, Federer versus when they played each other, they would raise their level. And because they did, they would have to raise their level again and then raise their level. They never stopped raising their level because they pushed each other. So truly, we lived in the golden era of tennis and it is over. So let that sink in. It's sad. It's weighs heavy on my heart, but also very fortunate to have had that experience.
Yeah,
it's not like me talking about Brady. So there'll be a new Mahomes coming. There'll be some new guys. There'll be some new guys to come, fill our hearts back up. But yeah,
not
I
at
understand
the same time though. 3 of amazing, once in a lifetime, generational talent at the same time.
Yes, yeah. we had Brady and Manning, and that was Brady Manning was it. Roethlisberger was a bum. Manning was lucky.
I mean, for me, I was always partial to Federer just because I loved how cerebral he was on the court. But yeah, at this point, I mean, Djokovic has been winning Grand Slam since 2008. You know, it's 15 years later, just hit his 23rd. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, the golden age of men's tennis is kind of coming to a close. So I guess who are the next big guys? I mean, you got Carlos Alcaraz. Like, are we going to maybe see a couple other studs, or is it going to be basically Alcaraz and parity at that point?
Alcaraz is amazing on slower surfaces, slow hard courts or clay. But Jannik Sinner, if he can stay healthy, that is his only problem. If he can stay healthy, Jannik Sinner is right up there, a contender on all surfaces. He has an amazing power, a great weapon. Players like Nick Kyrgios, if he decided to give a shit, he could be one of the greats. He could have been
DJ, the DJ of tennis.
He is the DJ of tennis. Exactly. If he decided one day and said, I'm going to actually hire a coach, he doesn't have one. He practices with his girlfriend. If he said, I want to wake up and I'm going to hire a coach and I'm going to get healthy with my body and I'm going to give it my all, he could be he's easily a top 5 player.
Really?
But he doesn't.
So,
yeah, about us.
No, I mean, it's kind of like how with Rory, his caddy's kind of holding the back right now. So, maybe make a couple changes.
Stop blaming it on his fucking caddy.
I was going to say, I don't know if it's a caddy problem.
It might not be at this point. But let's transition to another guy with, listen, I mean, a lot of real talent, but one major flaw in his game. So Scotty Scheffler. So word on the course. Obviously, he's been great striking the ball. He is absolutely flushing it right now in practice rounds at LACC. But again, he had some observations on the green and really shaky putter. There's rumors that he's trying out new Scotty Camerons.
Oh no.
I know that's not great. So I guess, Pamela, do you think, is he just going to kind of figure it out in a couple days, or is this going to be just another instance of Scotty dominates tee to green, but can't hit a 5-footer?
Scotty will dominate from tee to green, cannot hit a 5-footer. And this is exactly why he is the favorite right now at 6.5 to 1. There is zero value at backing Scotty because in back-to-back tournaments, he has lost 5 strokes and 9 strokes. Like imagine this right now. Just like fathom this statistical data line. Scotty Scheffler took 3rd at the Memorial. 16.6 strokes ball striking gained. Lost 9 with the putter. That is absolutely unreal. It is just absurd, the type of skills that we are seeing from him. This is like, people want to compare it to like, this is the Tiger Woods era. This is the new Tiger. How are we not having the conversation that maybe he's even playing better than Tiger Woods right now? He is superb. It is unreal how fantastic from tee to green is. Can't make a damn putt.
Can't make a putt. And that's the thing that scares me. I think I talked about it at match play when he missed that little 4-foot bunny. I was like, oh shit, maybe we can start having him. I was like, yeah, maybe we can get a crack in it. Maybe he won't win everything from here on out. Like, I was excited by it. And now I'm just kind of sad by it. I'm like, all right, man, come on, make some of them.
I would say he's the most reliable player for a top 10, a top 5.
Yeah.
I would not be betting him as an outright pre-market. What I would be doing is waiting after round 1, after round 2, see if you can get a better number. Anything above 10 to 1, that's a hell of a lot better value than getting the 6.5 pre-tournament, knowing that he's probably going to struggle with the puddle right out of the gate.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad strategy too. He's going off, I think, in the morning on Thursday. So if he gets off to a kind of slow start, I mean, the odds will probably balloon up a little bit. But yeah, definitely watch those odds in case he starts making some birdies, and maybe get a little better price on him. So I guess overall though, so with LACC, this is a new golf course we haven't seen unless you watch Walker Cup. But I mean, there's kind of been a lot of speculation about how this golf course is going to play. It's really wide fairways, but there's a lot of contouring to it. Really tough green size surround. So I guess, Pamela, coming to a new golf course, I guess, are you just going to rely on guys who are just in solid form of their ball striking, or is there any sort of particular angles you like about this golf course that's going to go into your handicap this week?
I use the same strategy for the US Open as I did for the RBC Canada. I looked for the all-around player because I am not going to play the guessing game. As a golfer myself, I can look at an aerial view and be like, oh yeah, this is what I expect to happen. But then once you actually get out there and you see the ball just like roll off like a marble on the green, like it just changes the dynamic entirely. And you can hear the player interviews, and they're not going to give away the entire what's happening and how the course is playing out. But yeah, like it's a guessing game. I think it is. The undulation is absolutely unreal. The greens, they're small and they look really, really fast, and the rough looks really, really thick. So I'm just looking for, can somebody hit it straight? Good. Can you hit an iron? Good. Can you hit around the green? Good. Can you maybe putt? Good. So I'm just looking for like the all-around player that can maybe do well, because we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, we definitely don't. I mean, I've kind of galaxy brained myself into a couple players this week. Capper, get ready to maybe have another heart attack tonight.
Oh, I know.
Yep. So we'll see. Well, why don't we get to our right bets after we take a quick break? Let's make Capper really, really upset.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. This episode is supported by Edge Boost. Edge Boost is the world's first bet now, pay later Visa card. Edge currently offers up to $2,500 in betting advances, which can be an extremely valuable tool. Imagine what you can do with an increased bankroll. Get down to some of your favorite futures without tying up your bankroll for months. Double down on your favorite bet you like, or even use it to create an awesome middle or even hedge, which we do not support here. No hedging. Edge Boost isn't some sleazy loan shack as they charge you zero interest. Do you know where you can access more money to place on your favorite bets without paying any interest. Edge Boost can also be a part of your responsible gambling plan as you set up a daily, weekly, monthly limits across all your betting accounts in one spot. So go support SGPN and grow your bankroll by using sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge to sign up. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge. You must be 21 or older to use. You get a problem gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. So Pamela, why don't you kick it off? Who did you bet to win the 2023 US Open?
So I have to I have to clarify every single time that I come on the show with y'all, because I don't narrow it down to like, these are my top 2 players that I'm betting. Like, if I like somebody in the top 30, the top 20, the top 10 market, I'm betting all of them as an outright because you never know. So I have a few guys. And because we've already talked about how this is kind of a guessing game of a tournament, of a course layout, we don't know what to expect, the weather, I mean, everything just kind of comes into this. I don't love this week. Golf for me has been crushing. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little toot. It has been so strong all season long. And this is a very difficult tournament to handicap because there's a lot of guys that are coming into this with some really good form. So all of that being said, I'm going to start with Brooks Koepka. God dang it. I'm going to start with Brooks Koepka. He's somebody that I typically don't wager on, but you have to at this point. I mean, he is just in back-to-back tournaments, T2 at the Masters. He won the PGA Championship. His data lines are just absolutely freaking phenomenal in back-to-back tournaments. He's one of the gaining 9 strokes ball striking and 10 strokes ball striking. He's greater on the green. He's great putting. Like, we are starting to see we have seen what BK is capable of when he's 100% healthy. And the problem with him before he went to live, he wasn't healthy. So now he looks good and he can win anything. So I have Brooks Koepka as my number 1. Do you want me to go down the whole list?
Yeah, go down the entire list.
Go ahead.
Yep, go down the entire
list. All right.
list.
We're going to go through Justin Rose as well.
Okay. All right.
He does 40-1 for an outright. I took him. We'll talk about the top 20s and all that later. But for the outright, 40-1, he just does really well on difficult courses. He took T6 at the Players. He took a T9 at the PGA Championship. He did 8th at the RBC Canada. He's not the best off the tee, and we can say that you have to be stellar off the tee, but as long as you keep it in play, like you said, the fairways are wide. It's more about precision, and the slopes are gonna get everybody. So where I love his game, he's greater on the green and he's a great putter. So I love also him. Let me see. I'm going to die on this hill that Ricky Fowler is going to win a tournament in 20. Do you feel your heart rate starting to pum pum pum? I was on a show. I will have you know, I was on a show a couple weeks ago, and they were just like bashing Ricky Fowler and like, he's never gonna win again. Excuse me. No, he is playing some stellar golf right now. Not just right now. All of 2023 has been a complete 180 of his 2022 production. He only has 1 missed cut at the PGA Championship, but that was his best driving performance that he has had to date. And then other than that, he's one of the best players around the green, and he's bent grass surfaces is his best putting surface. And just like Scotty's having trouble, he's having trouble. So not only has he improved on his iron shot, and I got to see it live, it is so fluid and so smooth. There's a lot more confidence in it. Like, he's finally clicked in the ball striking category, but now he's also one of the best short game players. Yes, I love Ricky Fowler, and he has shown it every single week. He's been the only, you see him, my betting card, Fowler. I bet him every week.
All right.
You have to now.
And I make money
You're
every
pot
week.
committed. You're pot committed at this point.
And I make money every week. Why are you going to toss him away when he's literally giving away money?
Yeah. Listen, I love betting him positionals and using him in DraftKings. I just don't know if he's going to finally break through again at the U.S. Open. That seems like a big ask.
But like I said, so the argument that I can make to that is I was also on Chris Kirk to win. He hasn't won in 8 years, and then they do. And then they do. You just never know when it happens. You just never know when it's going to come back into, this is the week that it absolutely clicks. But if you're a player that is consistently making progressions in your game and having the stellar top 10, top 20 performances, it's bound to happen. Just like law of physics, law of averages.
Yeah. You keep putting yourself in that position to win, and eventually you're gonna pull through and win.
Yeah, I mean, like, it seems like with Ricky this year, like, everything looks solid, but it seems like every tournament it's kind of like something's a little off, and that's why it's just consistently he's been a cash cow for top 20s this year.
Yes,
Like, he's always
absolutely.
usually considered like plus 130, plus 140, and you're just cashing that. I mean, as far as some golf course comps, I like for him. I mean, really good at Kapalua. A lot of uneven lies there. Augusta National, same thing. Really good at Erin Hills. That's rolling topography, kind of like what we're going to see this week. So, yeah, I mean, I think. Do I think Ricky's going to win? I don't know, maybe, but I definitely can support him for positionals, top 10s, top 20s. I mean, just the way he's around the green game has been really good. The iron play has been great this year. He's added a lot of distance too, and that always helps in the U.S. Open. So, yeah, I can support a Ricky Fowler outright if you want to go with that. And same thing with Justin Rose. I like a lot of things about him. I don't know how good he is off the tee, if that's going to cut it here, but everything else looks solid. And then obviously going with Brooks. I mean, the guy is just a U.S. Open machine. I mean, it's a little concerning. He hasn't played in a couple weeks, but listen, I mean,
and
like
he's been boozing, and he's been
boozing and riding that white lightning too.
But today,
going skiing in the summertime down in Florida.
Yeah, but today's press conference though, he looked very locked in. Like they asked him a question about the PIF PGA Tour merger. He's like, I'm paraphrasing. He said, I basically don't give a shit. I'm here for majors, and that's why I'm awesome at majors. I'm like, okay. All right, here we go. We are here for the first couple of weeks. So, all right. So after Ricky Fowler, you got anybody else?
Boston, you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Rory McIlroy.
Oh, fuck.
So actually,
no.
So okay, this kind of goes against what I've been doing. Okay. As often as I've been betting Ricky Fowler, I've been fading Rory McIlroy. He has been money to fade in the head-to-head market.
Agreed.
And it's been working every week. I've been making money off of that. But I am backing him this week because he has proven that from tee to green, he is still probably one of the top 5 players. T7, T7, T9, 3 straight top 10 finishes. And that's because he has we just mentioned it, how maybe he has a caddy problem. I don't think it's his caddy. It's mental. He has a 4th round problem. He's shooting over par in 3 of his last 5 tournaments on day 4s. He cannot put together 4 complete rounds. If that's a mental problem, because it's not a skill set, because he has gained strokes in every single category in all 3 tournaments. So at some point, that mentality is going to come back into play. And if he does, just like Scotty, if he can putt for just leaving one day, he can win too.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I get it with Rory, especially with the number, right? It's like, oh man, Rory's finally at like 14. Nobody's got confidence.
Forgot about him.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like everybody's down on him. The only thing I worry about with Rory is his tendency to miss big off the tee, and that you could just 8 up here with that. You know what I mean? And it could just spiral for him. Although who's he playing with? He's playing with Brooks, and he's playing with Decky, right?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good pairing for him.
I think that's a good group for him.
Yeah, and on the other side of the course there too, I think it's Spieth, Cantlay, and Finau, and that's gonna be a popular group to follow around too. So I think and there's not as many people this year at LACC because there just isn't as much space. So like the big hoopla we saw at Oak Hill with everybody on top of him there. I mean, I think it's actually a good pairing for him. So maybe get off to a decent start.
And it was actually being paired with Koepka that got me more interested because that could help with his focus. If Brooks is playing as well as he is, then it becomes a little rivalry between them two. And it becomes less about the tournament and it becomes more about them. And you know that Brooks is probably going to be in contention immediately on day 1. That's going to have to help push Rory to want to keep focus.
All right.
Somehow.
There you go. I like your arguments about Rory. He will make another appearance on the show out of my mouth in some capacity. So you got anybody else or we're going to move on to Capper with his outrights?
For the outright, we already talked about Scotty Scheffler. You have to wait until after day 1 because I'm not going to bet him at 6.5 to 1. But my absolute favorite that I have to ride, I just absolutely have to, there's no questions about it, is Tyrrell Hatton. I'm on him every single week, just as I am with Ricky Fowler. I have bet him every single tournament because I know that a win is on the way. He has 6 straight top 20 finishes. But we're talking about Rory McIlroy having problems in the 4th round. Hatton is top 10 for 4th round scoring. He has shot 5 under in 3 of his last 5 tournaments. Last week's RBC Canada, he finished the tournament 8 under, 64 to close. That is a perfect build up into this week. And his odds 30-1. Are you kidding me? He has been a top 20 machine. And you want to give me 30-1 for a guy that can finish on the 4th round? I'm all in. Take my money.
Yeah, I love Hatton. He's one of my guys. Anybody temperamental, throws clubs, screams at balls. That's my type. That's my type of golfer. Yeah, he's been absolutely on fire. I had a ticket on him last week. I know he posted the number. So I had him and Fleetwood. So that made for a real fun Sunday. Thanks, Nick Taylor, you prick. But yeah, I mean, everything's clicking for him. He always has one bad round. If you could just get rid of that, and not even just make it like a normal round. Just don't make it a shitty round. Like if he had posted like a normal score on Friday, like he would have been perfectly fine. You know what I mean? Like he would have been 3 or 4 strokes ahead going into Sunday.
Right.
So,
there you go. All right, you got it. Anybody else?
No, that's it.
All right, Capper, let's kick it over to you.
Now I have the laundry list.
All right,
exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
All right,
Capper.
I future bet Gary Woodland because I was drunk and Bearhoff talked me into it.
Is that why you had your heart attack? Because you saw your bet?
Yeah, exactly. It's 125-1. Whatever. Like he's actually not in bad form. He's not gonna win, but it is Gary Woodland at a U.S. Open. And he's another one. Like Jesus Christ, we make fun of Luke List and all these other guys, but Gary Woodland cannot putt to save his life. Like I mean, it is atrocious. It is like he needs a new coach. Like I don't understand how you could be that bad at putting and not go fix it to at least make it somewhat better. So he was my future on that. Bet Cam Smith the other night at 30-1, based on if this is going to be around the green, imaginative. Oh man! Plus, I love Cam Smith, and I actually feel good about betting him. I didn't want any part of him at PGA. It does make me a little nervous with how squirrely he is off the tee. But I'm hoping he can just kind of get lucky like he did here at Sawgrass. When he was wild off the tee, he caught good breaks, and that's kind of what you got to hope for if you end up in one of these barrancas. So I'm hoping a little bit of luck gets on his side. I mean, if you want somebody who can make those clutch putts, it's Cam Smith. That thing is a fucking weapon. Doesn't matter what tour he plays on, that dude can putt. So as long as he can keep his drive in check, I feel like he's got a great shot. That's 30-1 for a guy who was a top 5 golfer in the world last year. You're giving me 30-1 now. I'll take Cam Smith. So now I have to decide on what to do.
Okay. All right.
If I like Cam Smith, I gotta like Jordan Spieth, right? That's 20. So it's 28-1. But I just want to bet Rahm, like double barrel it, bet Rahm, and call it a fucking day. Hits it straight, hits it long. You want to the last tournament, he the only person who lost more strokes to the field putting was Scotty over John Rahm. He gained a ton of strokes tee to green like he always does, and the putter just failed him. He's a more consistent putter than Scotty is. And at 12-1, like I like 12-1 at Rahm. I don't know if he's gonna win Masters and the Open in one year, but man, I really like Rahm at this course. And I know the California narrative, I don't know how much that's gonna apply based on the different type of course it is, right? With the Bermuda or the bent grass. But yeah, Rahm at 12. I was very surprised to get 12. I'm probably going to pull the trigger on that one. That's going to be my card. Rahm, Smith, and random ass Woodland at 125-1. And I'll probably sprinkle Keegan. and I'll sprinkle a little bit of Keegan on the shadow bet just in case.
Listen, I'm proud. You might as well throw Siwoo in that too. That would just be the all capper guys.
Maybe I will, Steve. Maybe I will.
You might as well at that point. So Cam Smith, Siwoo,
I actually like
Keegan,
Rahm too. Yeah,
I was going to say, I actually like Siwoo, and I'm trying to find a way to bet.
Yeah, I tried to find a way too, and I couldn't get it. Maybe it'll just be first round leader or something.
I couldn't.
For him.
Oh yeah, he's 75-1 first round leader with a good tee time.
All right, so I did my little elimination game back on Sunday, and I whittled down the field to I think these guys are going to win: Scheffler, Rahm, Spieth, Rory, Cantlay, Xander, Hatton, Brooks, Hovland, Smith. And I just said, I'm just going to pick from that pool at that point. And I start kind of picking guys off and eliminating them. So let's start with Jordan Spieth. I just don't think he's going to win the U.S. Open. I understand the course fit and everything. There's some things about his profile I didn't love about this place. And we talk about, you can't miss huge and everything. Well, I mean, Spieth can do that sometimes. He also has that wrist injury and he hasn't been hitting it quite as far lately. So I picked him off. I really like Cam Smith for this tournament, but I don't think he's going to win. So he's out. Same thing with Hatton. You made a great argument, Pamela. I just worry about what's going on up here with him. And I never know if he's going to walk onto a golf course and he's actually going to like it or not. And given LACC,
like it or not.
Exactly. And I don't know if I made an Augusta National comp to this place and he hates that place. So I don't know if I want to play that game with him, but I was tempted. Hatton has a lot of things you're looking for this week as far as really good on Bermuda surfaces, the all-around game. Like his skill set is perfect for a US Open. I just worry about he's going to hit a shot and the club's going to go flying and then it's going to be the bogey train time. So he's out. Or with Brooks, I wanted to see him play the week before because every time he's won a major, he's played the week before. He didn't do that. So I think it's going to be like top 10, top 15 for him. So he's out. I just don't, I just, in my gut, I didn't think Rahm was going to win. So he's out. So it's down to Hovland, Rory, Cantlay, Xander. And I'm picking 3 of those guys. So I was going to pick Hovland and I had a bet on him, but I was able to cash out. I just, in my bones, I doubt his ability to get up and down from around at this place. And his track record on Bermuda actually isn't all that great. I got him for an outright at the Memorial. He's already paid his debt to me at that point. So if he decides to go out and win again, say la vie. So here are the guys I bet. I really like Xander this week. And listen, I'm just going to pick all my losers. It's a giant loser card.
I'm just saying, I tried to stop you. You lamented betting Xander ever again. You cried about it on the pod for 30 fucking minutes, and now you're gonna go bet him again.
I know.
I don't know. Listen, I just feel like with Xander, he doesn't have a strong enough iron game.
I mean, it's been a little. It's been better this year.
I think just the problem with him is that, he's good.
Mm-hmm. He's good at everything, not great at any one thing.
All right, well,
good at everything.
Let me make the arguments for the U.S. Open. I mean, he's awesome at U.S. Opens. He did really well in the 2 U.S. Opens that I comped this place to, Erin Hills and Shinnecock Hills. Really good at Augusta National. He's won at Capitol Lewis, so checking a lot of boxes right there. Uneven lies, wide fairways, some firm conditions. The iron play, I mean, from long range, he's been really good this year. From short range, he's been really good this year. There's a lot of shots. I think you got to have a really good right to left tee shot. He hits draws off the tee. So I just went with that with him. I bought myself into Rory too. I also bet Rory. And it's a little bit of narrative with him just because, listen, you can point to all the stats. You can point to the fact that, you can't really spray it all over the place, but he's been hitting his driver a lot better lately. Oh, yeah. I also really like the fact too, no one seems to be picking him. I've heard a lot of people say Rory has no chance to win this week. This is not a Rory course. He is not taking press conferences this week. And this is a guy who didn't have his best up at the top at the PGA. So finished top 10, was in the last 2 groups, the last 2 tournaments. And we're just discounting the guy because we think that he's not, great enough off the tee. And I like the fact that he's not, the attention seems to not be on him this week. The live stuff seems like it's in the past now as far as, listen, it's final. He can move on. And the number drifted enough for him. And he's been really good at U.S. Opens lately, really good Southern Hills, another golf course I comped him to, really good at Augusta too. So I like the number with Rory. And then I just feel like I'm going to bet the loser Cantlay. I can't help myself. I went on this whole thing about Bermuda, but it turns out I think I'm a little wrong on it. His home course in California is Bermuda. He's a member at Medalist. He plays Seminole. He lives in Jupiter. The Bermuda has actually been a little better the last couple of years. And look, this is actually going to give Boston Capper a stroke if the hometown guy who's played this course 24 times and knows it better than everybody ends up winning. I mean, that's probably going to just make you quit golf at that point. So, I was able to get him.
About it. He's not winning.
All right. Well, I was able to get him in 19. So there's my 3 losers: Rory, Cantlay, Xander. So,
are you worried about Rory's wedges at all? Because he fucking sucks with those 2.
No, I thought about that, and the reason why I'm okay with it is because this doesn't look like a course where you're going to use your wedge too often. The par 4s are actually pretty long. Like the holes are pretty long, so this is the this is leave your wedge in the bag. You're going to need a longer iron.
Yeah. So
Who's
here's
better
the
at
only,
the long irons than
here's
him?
the only time you're going to need a wedge this week. It's going to be on number 3, which is a tough approach shot for anybody. It's up the hill there. You're going to need it on if you lay up on 6, but he might go for the green every single time. We don't really know what guys are going to do there. It's only 280 downhill there. So depending where the pin is, he might just hit a long iron to that little apron and not even have to worry about that 100-yard shot. He's going to need it on number 10. That could be a problem. He's going to need it on 15. That could be a problem, but he can get to every par 5. I think the wedges might be a little overblown, but Pamela just nailed it. He is a killer over 175. And I think 60% of your shots are going to come over 175 this week. So, if he can just kind of hold it together with the wedges, I've heard reports he seems like he's in pretty good spirits. He was walking around with Brad Faxon, who is not a psychiatrist, Capper, actually a guy who works with putting. He called he did the announcing for the Walker Cup, so he knows LACC too. So
I think he's a Massachusetts guy too. I think Fax is a Massachusetts.
He might be. He might be. So I like how Rory's not. It seems like it's business as usual for Rory. He's not talking to the media, and maybe he just comes out just pissed off after everything that happened. And we've all been waiting for Rory to win a major. When's the last time Rory has not been like at the center of attention for all this pressure? And maybe this is the one he finally wins when no one sees it coming. So that's why he's on my card.
Exactly how you said. Nobody's paying attention to him right now.
There you go.
But he should be, because he is 3 straight top 10s playing poorly. Hello.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He hasn't had his best stuff. So we'll see what happens. So, all right. So that's the outrights. Why don't we take another quick break and then we'll talk about matchups.
All right. So before we get to matchups, gotta talk to you guys about Bird Dogs. They make you look good. They're stretch khaki shorts designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and the leg to give you a truly sculpted looks. They do the same exact thing as Lululemon, but fit better. They fit the way regular shorts fit better than regular shorts that are made of stiff, restricted cotton. They fixed the issue by inventing a cloud knit fabric that looks just like khaki, but stretches so you get a way slimmer fit without having to sacrifice the movement. And they have anti-stink sweat wicking fabric that keeps you cool and dry all day long. Listen, like I said last night, man, living in Florida, dragging the kids around any amusement park or golfing down here, you need that wick away, man. Nothing is worse than any type of chafing. So go out and get these shorts. You go to birddogs.com/pool and enter promo code pool for a free Yeti style tumbler with your order. That's birddogs.com/pool for a free Yeti style tumbler. You won't want to take your Bird Dogs off. We promise.
Okay. All right. Let's get the matchups, which is Pamela's bread and butter. So why don't we kick it off to the expert then? What's your favorite matchup of the week?
I will be honest. I haven't dug deep into them. I usually get onto that on Wednesdays, but I do only have one that caught my attention immediately, and it is Russell Henley as a favorite over Sahith. Am I saying his name correctly?
Sahith Theegala.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Sahith Theegala. Russell Henley was actually a player that I considered in a placement market, either top 30. He's getting really good odds for a top 20, top 30 market. For top 30. You're getting plus money with him, but I think he's been really playing. I'm not going to say I think. Russell Henley is totally under the radar at the moment. He has put together, 3. He's put together 5 top 20 finishes in his last 6 starts. 6 top 20 finishes in his last 7 starts. There you go. He is really good with his iron play right now, and he is putting together his putting. It is starting to come into play here. It's his off the tee game that is a little bit wonky. He did lose 3 strokes at the Memorial Tournament, but he still, with that, finished a T16. This is going to be a wider fairway situation. I expect him to have a lot less opportunity here to at least remain neutral. And if he does, another top 20 finish is definitely in play for him. But Sahith Theegala, as good as he is one of the most inconsistent players on tour. People want to bet him every week, and I'm like, why? You might as well throw a dart and guess which tournament is going to fit him. It's just, I look for consistency more often than not when it comes to the head-to-head market. And Henley right now is putting together some really consistent scores. He has gained strokes from tee to green in every tournament that he's played since March. He is just really solid from start to finish. He's figuring it out. So I think top 20 for him is definitely in play. Love him in the head-to-head market.
Yeah, you like Henley, don't you, Steve? You brought him up.
I did. I didn't find an opportunity to get him on the betting card, but I talked about him last night on the DFS show. He's not getting a whole lot of ownership, but he's actually really good at U.S. Opens. He was, I think, 54-hole leader at Torrey Pines. He did really well.
I forgot about that.
He did really well at that Shinnecock U.S. Open in 2018, in 2018, 2017 at Erin Hills T27. So 2 U.S. Open styles where wider fairways, rolling topography, really good at those places. I definitely think he can be at home here. And obviously with the form too, I think that's a really good pick. And with Tagala too, talk about a guy who can miss big. That's really that guy. And he hasn't been all that sharp lately. So
Tagala has lost strokes off the tee, and he's not just like,
he's squirrely.
He is horrendous off the tee, and you see it in his results. He's finishing T40 or worse, and it's because he can't hit off the tee, and he's not good around the green. So then where are you coming up with it? His iron play is just so inconsistent that it's not enough to carry him into better positions. So Henley over him, it's just a no-brainer to me. Consistency.
Okay. Yeah, I like that one.
All right, there you go. All right, well, why don't we try and give you some other ideas then to maybe fill out some other matchups you like. So I'll go with my first one. You're not going to like this one because you picked him outright, but I just made the argument for Tyrrell Hatton, where I just don't know what his mental capacity is going to be. Has never really been all that great in U.S. Opens either. So I really like Matthew Fitzpatrick this week. I like his all-around game. He's really good on Bermuda, good off the tee. So Fitzpatrick minus 120 over Tyrrell Hatton. Again, I'm just taking the all anti-capper card.
Yeah, what the fuck? I feel like targeted. This is gross. Fitz over Hatton.
Maybe this is revenge for you talking me off of Koepka last major. So I'm just gonna go with my gut with all the guys that
can't help. I'm persuasive.
You're persuasive. Yeah, well, you are in sales, so that makes sense. So no, I'll take Fitz over Hatton. I think Fitz is going to have a backup his finish last year with another decent performance. And Hatton, we'll see what happens. So that's my first matchup. Capper, what about you?
My first one I felt was a no-brainer as well. It's Decky over Bryson, and it's minus 120. Laying a little bit of juice, but Decky overall much better, consistent player. There's no even lies here, period, at all. And Bryson struggles like no other with that. Whatever. He played okay at the PGA, but this isn't a bomb and gouge. I know he's looked good on the range, crushing the 425s today or whatever, but I don't care. You need to be able to hit irons. You need to be able to play around the green. And when it's uneven lies for him, he is on the struggle bus. So minus 120 for Decky, who I liked a lot. He's super chalky in DFS, so I couldn't play him in DFS. So I need to get him on my card somewhere, and that's where he fits.
Okay.
I think what's interesting about Bryson is that he's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he looks good. He's playing better.
He looks really good, and he's playing better. So for me, I don't want to bet on or against DeChambeau in any way, because this could actually be a course that does benefit his game off the tee, where he can just bomb it and put himself in some great positions. But I agree that Hideki is a better iron player. But
it's the uneven lies that I've seen him struggle with. Like when the ball's above his feet or below his feet, Bryson just mentally just melts down. He's like, robot cannot compute, and just sends it 40 yards.
Complain about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he can't do the trigonometry in his head at that point, where the ball's about 3 inches below his feet there. But look, I'm very happy that Bryson has lost a lot of weight and figured out he doesn't need to look like JJ Watt to hit the ball 400 yards. He can look a little more svelte. So I actually have Hideki in another matchup. I took him plus 100 over Cam Young's kind of similar methodology. I really like Hideki this week. I'm going to talk about him a little more when I get to placements. As far as Cam Young, though, listen, really good off the tee, but around the green, he's a mess. The putter has been a mess. And I do not think this is going to be a repeat of St. Andrews, where he can just bomb it anywhere and to have really good wedges into the green. That's one of his strengths. Maybe this is just a little bitterness about what happened last week at Oakdale. He was horrendous, but he's slumping right now. And I really like Hideki's game. I think it's solid. So that's my next guy. So, Capper, what's your third matchup or second matchup?
Second one. So what's funny is I wasn't sure who was going to have it, and Decky over Young was one of mine as well, in case somebody said it. So like that. So then I got Neiman over Burns. This is just I miss Neiman thing, I think. And the fact that I don't trust Sam Burns as far as I can throw him. I don't give a shit if it's on Bermuda. He is all out of sorts. He is squirrely off the tee, not making putts, bad body language every time I've seen the camera on him. Terrible major record. You name it, he's got it. I am so far, and his long irons suck. From 175 and longer, he's like 120th in this field.
3 missed cuts in his last 5.
Yeah, and so give me, and I know Neiman's kind of unknown. It looks like he's playing okay on live. I don't know what that actually fucking means, but I can get even. I can get even money on Neiman, who I think is a great player who I miss dearly watching every single week. Oh man, I miss him. Like, live took all my guys. It's so annoying. So hopefully,
Yeah, but they're going to come back now. It's okay.
They're coming back.
I know. Thank God. Yeah. So I took Neiman over Burns, even money.
Okay. All right. So my third matchup was I found a Cam Davis minus 130 over Sergio Garcia, and it's more just
Garcia.
like Sergio just might be cooked at this point. Like he got second in Singapore, but other than that, though, 34th at DC, 24th at Tulsa, 14th in Adelaide. Okay, fine. Cut at the Masters. 45th at Orlando. His U.S. Open record stinks. He was cut last year, T19 2021, but then he was cut at the COVID U.S. Open, T52 in 2019, cut in 2018.
He wasn't just cut at the Masters. He was terrible.
Yeah, he was
ejecto.
He was horrendous.
The only thing we saw him not do was like swing and a miss. Like everything else though, like he couldn't putt, he couldn't do anything. His short game was terrible. I was a fan of Sergio, so I was watching him. It was bad. He was not good.
No, he wasn't. I'm just a fan of Cam Davis. I think Australians are going to really like this place. You know, the firm and fast conditions, really good long iron play too. Has distance that really helps. So I'll take Cam Davis minus 130 over Sergio Garcia. All right, Capper, what's your third matchup?
Third matchup is just me being on brand just to irritate you, taking the two top guys on the board, and I'm taking Rahm at plus money over Scotty at plus 125. There's not a ton of difference between these two guys. It's whoever can get hot with the putter. And if you're going to give me plus money on who you can argue is the best player in the world, I'm going to take plus money on Jon Rahm every day, all day.
I think I agree with that one. And actually, that was one of the ones that I was eyeing earlier because as much as I think that Scotty can absolutely win, that putter is bad.
It's bad. You're going to give me plus money with Rahm? Like how many times? Like it's like when I used to get points with Brady. How many times am I going to get to bet Brady as an underdog? You know what I mean? In my life, like it wasn't many, and I took it every time.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I think that worked out really well for you at the Masters. You took Rahm, I think, plus money over Rory, and that was over by Friday.
So it was a beautiful thing.
There you go.
What are you getting? Plus what?
Plus 125.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good. So, all right. While I'm on positionals, Pamela, what are some top 10s and 20s you got? I'm assuming you're back up the outright, so you want to recap which one specifically you bet?
Exactly. So actually one that I didn't mention as an outright because I like him more in the placement market is a player named Ryan Fox.
Okay.
So I love him in the top 40 market at plus 130. Okay, so if you look at this guy, I'm looking at data profiles. I have to look at interviews so I can discover who these people are because every week I learn a new name in the PGA. But he's really good for a top 40 finish, which is plus 130 is the best that I found. He's from New Zealand and he has competed in larger events. T27 at the Players, T26 at the Masters, T23 at the PGA Championship, even T30 last week at a couple weeks ago at the Memorial. But it was at Muirfield where he lost strokes off the tee for the first time the entire year this season. Since then, he's completely rebounded. He's pretty good around the green. He's corrected himself, gaining strokes in 4 of his last 5 around the green. Bent grass is his best surface. Not only has he gained from tee to green in his last 5 bent grass, but he has 5 straight top 30 finishes on bent grass tournaments. So now you're getting plus money for a top 40 for a guy that's consistently in the top 30 in difficult fields. That was I love that one.
Okay.
I like that.
All right, Capper. I'm sorry, Pamela. What else do you have?
No, go ahead. We can go one by one.
Oh, okay. All right, Capper. Do you have any top 10s?
Yeah, I got for my top 10. The only one I got is I'm backing Rahm up because it's only minus 110. Top 10 for all the reasons. I'm betting Rahm. If I can get him close to even money on a top 10, I'll take it.
Okay.
To ease the suffering if he doesn't win.
All right, so I have 3 guys in the top 10 because look, I'm going to be leaving the show for a little bit after I have the kid. I might not be betting golf for a little bit. So you know what? YOLO card, baby. Let's try and go big or go home. So
we usually have laundry list. Now it's going to be like a book.
the positional market is always a laundry list for me, especially at majors. So look, I mean, listen, I know Scotty's putter is definitely an issue with how good he is tee to green. Like he's going to be in the mix at this point. So I found a top 10 on him minus 115. I'm just going to go with that. Bet him like a matchup. He's definitely going to be there with how good he hits the ball. Has experience at LACC being in the Walker Cup too, so he is at least familiar with how this golf course might play. I just like those odds. It was better than a lot of odds I found everywhere else in the market, so I'll take those odds at minus 110. I could have waited for the tournament, but listen, I'm working on Thursday. Maybe I'd miss it, so I'll just lock it in right now. So, all right, Pamela, what about you? Let's kick it back to you.
I think for the top, I heard you just say now twice top 10. Did I skip over? Because I went to top 40 first.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it was top 40. She said. Yeah.
We'll just go around with everything you got.
Ryan Fox was top 40 for sure. Not taking him top 10, which is
you be getting a much higher number for Ryan Fox top 10.
Top 10, that would be absurd. Okay, so for Terrell Hatton, he is plus money for top 20.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Huh?
I like it.
He has 6 straight. I've already talked about him. 6 straight top 20 finishes. He's fantastic in the 4th round. So what I also thought about, knowing that he is one of the top 10 players in the 4th round, if he's not in the 4th round, if he's not in the top 20-ish, top 30-ish, like maybe after round 1 or round 2, if your book does offer the ability to like finish in the top 10, I would 100% take that on the live line. And you're probably getting like an absurd number because right now his top 10 is 260 plus 260. You can probably get closer to like 6-1, 8-1 if he's outside of the top 20 after the first couple of days. Yeah, knowing that he's going to do superb on the 4th.
Yeah, and I would say that some people are just going to click on, like you said, but most people are going to click on their book, try to look for it. It's not going to be offered where you normally just place your matchups. You got to go to whatever live betting they're offering, and it's going to be under there, just so people know to go, because some people are like, where is it at? I'm like, you got to go to the live bet, which is dangerous. But now that I'm cutting back on the booze, and it won't be as dangerous as like 900 bets at night. So that's good.
All right. Well, I'll go with another top 10. So look, I mean, obviously my outrights are very controversial, picking 3 losers, guys who have just screwed me really hard before. So you know what? Why don't I ensure that maybe these guys really are who I think they are? So how about just the Rory top 10? He just ejects himself on Thursday, ends up backdooring a top 10 on Sunday. Top 10 plus 165. A couple other things I didn't get to because I felt like I was attacked and bullied by Goss and Capper, and it kind of frazzled me a little bit. You know, Rory's really good on Bermuda. His last couple wins have been on Bermuda. Congaree Bermuda. I think Emirates Golf Club it was either Emirates or Abu Dhabi. That was Bermuda over there. Really firm Bermuda is really good on too. So I just really like Rory this week. I think he's going to show well. I think he's there for all business. So top 10, I'm Rory plus 165. So, all right, Capper, let's throw it to you.
I can't wait to text you on Thursday and Friday.
I know you can. I know you do.
So for my top 20s, Pamela already talked about him. I got Rosie at plus 175. I like everything that he's doing. I got him. I know I'm going to play him first round leader as well because he likes to come out of the gate strong. I know Steve, you said he's a little squirrely off the box. I know Thursday I felt like he hit every single friggin' fairway. Same thing on Saturday. I didn't watch a whole lot of him on Friday. Yeah, I really like Rose. Plays good in hard conditions, and plus 175. I couldn't get there on outright on him, but I like that price for a top 20.
Okay. All right, Pamela, let's kick it back over to you.
I second Justin Rose because, yes, he's one of my outrights, but of course, yes. So you can actually get him. I'm a very conservative bettor, so I don't always go for plus money. Just because I like him in the top 20 doesn't mean I'm going to take him as a plus 10. Yep. Justin Rose is getting, he's minus 110 to finish in the top 30. That's a pretty good bet. That's a good bet to me. Yep. But if you want to take him in the top 20 market, he's getting plus 140 for that. Since you did mention him, though, and I'm just seconding that one, I'm going to go with Mito Pereira. He is in the top 30. You're getting plus money, plus 140 for him in the top 30. He was one of the players that I really loved before he went to live, just because he's simply one of the best ball strikers on tour. He is so freaking good with his iron plays. He's so really good off the tee, and he showed it at the Masters, T43 in the Masters, but it's because he lost 6 strokes with his putter. But he did really well at T18 at the PGA Championship, still losing strokes with his putter. He is like the Keen of Team No Putt. If there was any one player that I would peg in that market of you're super good at ball striking and you suck with your putter, it's Mito Pereira. Because this course is, we don't know what to expect, I'm willing to take a risk at plus money for him to finish in the top 30 on bend grass surfaces. He's done really well. The 2020 last year's PGA Championship, he took 3rd, T7 at the Charles Schwab, T13 at the Memorial, and that was all before he left to live, where he just like went on this like mega streak of like miscut, went over to live, but then now in back-to-back majors at the Masters and the PGA, his ball striking is back in form. Gained 8 strokes ball striking at the Masters, gained 10 strokes ball striking at the PGA Championship. It is putter. So I'm willing to take a flyer on plus money for him to do well because he is still really good with his iron play, with his ball striking.
What's his outright price?
Oh, wait. I'll talk after the show. I'll talk you off that.
Okay.
He's
not gonna happen. I could not take a player.
Not winning.
He's not winning.
Yeah.
But top 30, very doable.
Yeah, well, he's on my card too. I found a top 40 on him at plus 125, and for a lot of the same reason. I just think getting plus money for Mito Pereira is for a top 40 finish is just really good value. He's really talented. And like I may mention last night in the DraftKings show, like just the guys around him in DFS pricing, he's just better than all those guys, like Seamus Power and like Danny McCart, like a lot of those guys. He's just better. So I'm getting plus money for a top 40 Mito. That's for me. And then as far as just another top 10, listen, I got to go with my boy Brooks. Again, the YOLO card. I just love him at US Opens. I'm going to have him here. I feel like I just have to be compelled to have him. I mean, if you just want to look for a guy who is just going to play it safe, conservative, pick his spots when he can at this place. He's going to do great. 1 Aaron Hills. That's a comp course I like to this place. 1 Shinnecock, a comp course I like to this place. Really good at Augusta too. Really good on Bermuda as well. So I'll take Koepka top 10 plus 165 as well. So, all right, Capper, what about you?
So the last two, because I actually didn't bet that last one. So last two I got Keegs because it's mandatory to stay on brand. 3-1 top 20. Mandatory. Because I can't I have to bet. I just love him and top 20, 3-1. I feel like that's a pretty fair price based on his U.S. history open, other than the home game last year at Brookline. But he does well in these type of courses, long and straight, good long iron player. Aim point putting seems to have helped. So 3-1 on him's good. And then I took Cole at 6-1 because I like to bet on this kid. He played pretty well in some of the harder tournaments this year. So PGA, 15th. Mexico doesn't count as hard, but still top 5 there. 27th at the Players, 2nd at the Honda, losing to Chris Kirk. Watching what he did there right after what he did at Pebble Beach, I've been following him since and playing him in DraftKings and getting him in some markets. So I thought 6-1's a fun bet for him on the U.S. Open. Kid can go lights out with the putter, and if he can do that here, then I don't see why he can't make it in the top 20 as long as he survives until fucking Saturday.
There you go. All right, Pamela, back over to you. What's next on your list?
I also agree with you on Brooks Koepka for the top 10 finish. So I won't mention him. I talked about Justin Rose, Mito Pereira. I left Patrick Cantlay off my card. He was on my long list. So instead of talking about a player that I will take, I left Patrick Cantlay off. And I think it's just because I don't know. There's just something about it. I don't like that he has outside of the top 10 in 2 of his last 3 tournaments. So so that just tells me there's something there, and he lost 4 strokes with his putter at the Memorial. Could he very well rebound in this position here? Absolutely, because he's won on bent grass before, winning the BMW Championship last year. But I left him off. So I took Ricky Fowler for a top 30. Already talked about him. Rory McIlroy for a top 10. He's reliable for a top 10 finish. And if there's any one player that I would, it's him and Scotty. And then that's pretty much it. I talked about Ryan Fox.
Yep.
Scheffler, I'm gonna maybe wait for that one on the live line because you don't get plus money until the top 5. That's just insane. That's insane.
That's nuts. It's insane.
That's how good he is. That's insane. You don't get plus money for Scotty until the top 5. Jeez.
That is pretty nuts. So, all right, I'll just finish out the rest of my positionals. So, obviously, if I never learned my lesson with Cantlay or Schauffele, all they do is just finish top 20s. Cantlay top 20 minus 110. Look, I mean, maybe he's the type of guy. Max Hellman may mention this in his interview with Jeff Shackelford. He over-prepared for a lot of majors. Cantlay's a very cerebral guy. Maybe he just over-prepares for a lot of this stuff, and now he's coming to LACC, a place he knows, and just going to play golf. Maybe that can be a difference for him. But, look, I mean, he's just been a top 20 machine in majors lately. So I'll take top 20 him minus 110. And then Xander top 20 even money. He's so good in US Opens. And with the ball striking set he has coming to this place, I just love that bet. So there's that. Cam Smith, I really like here. Top 20 plus 150, just wider fairways, really good short game, firm and fast conditions. That's really going to suit well for Cam Smith. Won at Kapalua, really good at Augusta National. So a lot of good comp courses I like from him. Good at Chambers Bay as well. That was a firm, kind of weird, funky golf course they was able to figure out. So even though he hasn't been really good at U.S. Opens, that was the one U.S. Open he was really good at. I think he'd have another repeat good performance here. Hideki, top 20 plus 180. Again, really good at Kapalua, really good at Augusta National, great iron player, really good around the green too. I think that just solid games going to be so important. He was doing really well at Memorial and just things kind of got away from him over the weekend, but I just like him for a solid, at almost 2-1 odds for a top 20. We'll go with that. And then if I like Cam Smith, I like Patrick Reed. Top 30 on him, plus 150 again.
We're putting everybody on the betting card.
I always do in my position. Well, listen, top 30 for plus 150 for Pat Reed. Similar things I mentioned with Cam Smith, I can apply to him. Really good short game, great on wider golf course, really good Shinnecock, really good at Erin Hills, great at Augusta National, great at Kapalua. I think a top 30 on him at plus 150 is pretty reasonable. And then Adam Scott, I just think his game's really solid. Great iron player, has got some distance. Great at Augusta National, great at Kapalua. So top 30 and him plus 165. There, I'm done.
Oh, is that all?
I'm done.
That's it.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know if our audience is going to be able to just keep track of everything that we have.
I'll put out the betting card. You'll be able to get the laundry list.
Yeah.
This is actually the very first time every week I typically take, it's no different for me, no matter what tournament it is. I typically take only 4 or 5 guys, max. And it's typically about 4. This week, I kind of had a lot. When I did my list, my long list typically consists of 6, and then I narrow it to 4. My long list this week was 18, and I'm like, holy, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you doing?
What are we doing here?
I mean, I guess with my positionals, I bet a lot of plus money. I really like operating in I know I went Xander plus 100 and I bet a couple guys with juice, but for the most part, though, I operate with positionals between plus 130 and 2-1. And as long as I hit 50, 55, 60% of those, I'm up a couple units at that point. So it's kind of just volume shooting at this point. I feel pretty confident with at least getting some guys I like in that range. So I'm not necessarily looking to be perfect in all these, but I just really like a lot of these guys where if I get 60%, I'm going to have a good week of the positionals. That's really all I'm going for with this stuff. So yeah, I'm betting a lot, but this has been kind of a style I've been really good at and have a lot of success in. It helps me cover outrights if I don't cash and still end up ahead for the week. So that's why I usually go with a lot of guys. I get it though. If you don't want to bet all those guys, I get it. Probably the ones I like the best. The ones I like the best out of that bunch, Cam Smith top 20 plus 150. I really like that Xander top 20 even odds if you get it. That just seems with his floor. Just getting that. Patrick Reed, top 30 plus 150, and Mito, top 40 plus 125. But there you go. There's my 4 locks, I guess, in all the positionals.
Do you have any fun bets?
Do I have fun bets?
Yeah, fun bets.
I
bets that you hate.
Bets I hate.
Yeah,
I have first round leader bets.
So
Those
I have Vic to miss the cut. That's a fun bet. That's 3-1.
Okay.
I got first round score, Vic over 69.5. That was plus money. I think they fucked up. Because
everyone's on Victor this week, by the way.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm betting
against him. Lot of steam.
Do you think that Victor, as young as he is capable of winning back-to-back?
See, that's the thing. That's why I don't think it's going to happen. I think maybe this is the letdown for him, and then he wins the Open. Ooh, maybe that's the one where he wins. Because listen, he has been really close lately. And guys, when you start getting really close to these majors, the major comes pretty soon after that. Maybe we would have saw this with Zalatoris, but he got injured. But maybe that's like that with Hovland. Maybe a little too much steam coming in. Had no attention on him before the PGA. He did really well. No attention on him before the Masters. Did really well. Now the attention's on him. Maybe this is the letdown. Let the steam cool off.
I don't think he's
maybe wait a month at the Open. I like him at Liverpool. That might set up a little better than this place.
Yep. So with everybody's on him, I typically like to take a miscut bet. Yeah. So when did it work? Where did it work out for me at Rory? We ejected
everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Yes. Exactly.
The Masters.
That was a good one. That was a fun week.
You drank all the salty tears that week.
Oh, so many salty tears.
Yes.
And then so I took this one. I don't really. So top lefty. It's Brian Harmon versus Phil Mickelson for as a head-to-head matchup, and it was only minus 110.
You're taking Harman?
Yeah, I'm taking Harman. I don't care.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't care. He shows up at these things for whatever reason.
Harman's been awful lately.
Yeah, I'm aware. And he's a prick. And he was very mean. He was very mean to all the volunteers at TBC Sawgrass.
Okay.
Fuck, I forgot about that. That's bad karma.
That's really bad karma.
Yeah, I'll bet Lefty and just eat the juice.
You might have just willed Phil to the win at that point.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm betting Lefty to eat the juice. That's
fine.
And then
fine.
Yeah, I'm just gonna eat the juice on that one. Then I have 2 bets that I haven't laid yet, but I'm probably gonna do it. So all these guys first round top 20, Scotty, Rom, and Xander plays 4-1. All the guys first round top 10 pays 15-1.
All right, who blows it, Pam? Scotty, Rom, or Xander of that 3?
Scotty, Rom, or Xander. Xander?
See, I think it's Scotty.
I think it's Rom, actually.
Oh, great. We all disagree.
There you go.
I think Scotty's going to be just fine. He'll have another like top 10 finish, and Rom will finish because I know you took him in the head-to-head. So Rom will finish like second or win, and Scotty's going to take like third. It's going to be like
that makes sense. That makes sense.
But Xander, I can see him finishing outside of the top 30.
No, this is only first round. First round only. First round only. Yeah, first round
only.
Yeah.
Is he even good? No, it would be Xander.
Okay.
I can see any of them doing it, or all 3 of them not being there. But this doesn't chop dead heats, so I could get lucky too.
You could get lucky with that. So, all right. I only have 1 tournament prop, so I always love doing my cut lines, winning score, all that stuff. The problem with this, I didn't really know what to make of this course as far as it was going to be really receptive, was it going to be really firm, how would the USGA set it up. So I just kind of did back in the napkin math of. I thought winning score was going to be around -9 or so, and I thought the cut load was going to be +4. And guess what? That ended up being what the odds were. So didn't really love either. I did find on FanDuel, it's unfortunately juiced to the moon at this point, but they are still hanging winning score -6 or better. I got it at -110 at the beginning of the week. I think it's up to like -165, -170 now, but I think that's a lock. Yeah. I think it's going to be between 7 and 10 is a winning score. As far as sometimes they go these US Opens, and the USGA has kind of changed its tone. A lot of the stuff they start setting up kind of easy at the beginning of the week, ramp up the difficulties. They've learned their lessons. They're not going to let this golf course get too out of control. And with wider fairways, I think there's going to be a little more opportunity to get a lot of birdies at this place. You can score there. So it's going to be kind of like, you can definitely screw it up at this place, but somebody's going to shoot like 64 on a couple of these days, and you can definitely get it there. So I like that, but if you really put a gun to my head, I think -9 is the winning score, +4 is the cut. So I guess bet accordingly.
All right.
Okay. All right. Pamela, you got any tournament props, or can we go to first round leaders?
Let's go to first round leaders. I like listening to your props because you always get the good ones. I agree that I agree. The course doesn't, as difficult as it looks, it's very playable.
Yeah. I there's 2 ends of the extremes that could turn. It could be Shinnecock, just impossible, or it can be Aaron Hills, just everybody's kind of burning. I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle. So about -9, -8 at that point. So, all right, first round leaders. What do you got, Pamela?
Just go through my whole laundry list. Brooks Koepka, Justin Rose, even Mito Pereira, because you never know, Ricky Fowler, Rory McIlroy, Ryan Fox, also you never know, and they are super long shots. Yep. Scotty Scheffler is the only one that I would add who I don't have a positional or an outright on, because it's Scotty Scheffler. And then
it's like 20-1. It's like 3 times
you're getting exactly. That's exactly, if you're gonna bet Scotty, that's the exact way that you should bet him. Take him for first round leader, and then wait for a better number on the live line.
If first round leader doesn't come through. Yep.
All right, there you go. All right, so my first round leaders, I think the golf course is going to be the most receptive Thursday morning, because the clouds are going to be kind of hanging over the area that morning. The sun's going to come out in the afternoon, dry it out. And I think Thursday, they're going to ease these guys into their round. So I like Thursday AM to where the first round leader is going to be. So I picked a couple guys from there. As far as the golf course goes, no one's really makes a whole lot of it. So I didn't really want to bet anybody too short. So Let's start with Morikawa, 50-1. He's been at the Walker Cup, played at this place. Who knows if the back injury is still there or not. Got off to a really fast start at Brookline last year. This was also a guy I pegged back in December to win the U.S. Open, and now I've just abandoned that plan. So I'm going to really be kicking myself if he goes out to a really good score on Thursday. So first round leader on him, 50-1. Jason Day, 55-1. Listen, like he's been bad since the Byron Nelson, but hey, really good comfy weather for him. 70, sunny LA conditions. So maybe he's going to be feeling pretty good, rolling a couple putts on Thursday. 55-1 on him for that. This is where Justin Rose is going to be on my card at 65-1. Just get out to a good start. It seems like he's been first round leader a lot and got out to a really good start. Exactly. So 65-1 for him. I got Ricky Fowler, 66-1. He's going to get out to a really good start here. I think he got to a really good start at Aaron Hills as well. So maybe we can repeat that. Adam Scott, I'm trying to get my money back based on him absolutely screwing me at Oak Hill. 80-1 on him for first round leader. Maybe he can do a similar thing he did Oak Hill. And then Patrick Rogers, 130-1, has some distance, can really putt, playing pretty well this year too. Went to school out in California as well. So, you know, you got those ties there, even though he's an Indiana guy. That's just narrative street. But 131 for a guy who can putt and is really good on bent grass. I'll take that.
Like it.
Okay.
Yeah. Scott owes you money.
He owes me a lot of money at this point. So, and then Capper, your video is going to come out, I think,
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. There you go. We'll see what's in. So, all right, Pamela, thank you for joining us on the show. Why don't you give a couple plugs about where you can find you and anything else you're working on?
Well, if you like fitness, it's really fun time right now because I am preparing for a max week at the end of June, which means I'm going to go for my 1 rep max on the deadlift, the squat, the bench press, and the pull up. So I'm pretty much training for that right now. I'm really excited to see the numbers. Just for general knowledge, my last 1 rep max for the deadlift was 300 in January. I'm definitely in a position now to possibly get 315 is what I'm hoping for. If not more. Wow. So we'll see. So you can see that on my Instagram at Pamela.Maldonado35. And then Twitter, everything that I do over at Yahoo, every video, every podcast, everything for PGA. My head-to-heads have been money. That has been the only consistent thing that's really going on in betting for me is you bet those blind. They're doing really well. And a lot of them are plus money options. So it's been a really good season for head-to-head, which you can find on my Twitter at Pamela M35.
All right, there you go. Go check those out. And she'll have a couple more probably tomorrow for that. And yeah, Capper, you got anything else?
No, that's it, man. We got Jeff Benson from Circa tomorrow night to kind of go over what the odds makers are doing when they're setting the golf lines and if they highly treat it differently than football and if they have any weaknesses when they're setting it that we might be able to exploit or where their big house edge is other than getting 15 guys under 30-1 every tournament. So yeah, other than that, and then we got the mothership show, I guess, in like a friggin' hour. So
yep. Go get some coffee or something.
I'm not drinking coffee. Crazy.
That's true. Your heart would probably explode at this point.
No smoking.
Yeah, no smoking. No smoking. I haven't had a cigarette since.
Go have a cucumber or something.
Yeah. I chew on the lollipop thing. I just gnaw on it and pace. It'll go away eventually. Right?
Yeah. That's easily digestible. I think it's really good for your intestines.
I'm not eating it. I'm chewing on it.
You're still swallowing some paper at this point. It's inevitable.
This is paper in everybody's food too.
All right.
Anyway,
all right. Let's wrap this show up.
Yeah. All right. You guys go find Steve in our Discord channel. Other than that, once again, big thanks to Pamela. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Steve won't be here, so go harass him in the Discord channel. And other than that, it's Major Week, baby. Let's break them fucking books.